Hello, lovely.
Hello.
We really need to start editing so that I can sit down and cut this. And
I know.
hello. How are you? We will start soon editing. When I don't have to fix the car's brakes.
Yeah. Look.
No, it's fine. I don't mind that. Housekeeping. How was your day?
It was actually really cool. It
What
was
did
really
you-
busy.
what
I
did
did
you
some
do?
planting.
Gardening.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, I don't know. Well, I did some planting.
She's a plant keeper now.
Not a housekeeper.
Not a housekeeper. She's got 4 plants, 2 big ones and 2 small ones.
Yeah, they look stunning.
It's a start, right? So
Stunning.
yeah, it's really cool to see you doing something new, brand new.
Mm.
I'm still struggling to find anything new. I've got the skateboarding, of course. It's very hard for me to pick up something new. You know how long I take before. I'm actually going to program some fitness stuff for us, so that I don't get sore calves and stuff from skateboarding and you don't hurt your knee. So, but that's old stuff. New, I don't know. I'm a creature of habit, right? I like my old routines. I like routine. I like to do the laundry and the cooking and have a nice new frying pan.
Yeah.
That's new for me. Like
Yeah.
the bettering my old routine, like having a better frying pan.
Oh, you did enjoy making us food today, did you know?
Yeah, it was really good. Anyway, I think, are we starting?
I think so.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else. Tomorrow I'm doing my talk. I don't have a topic yet. I've kind of got an idea.
You do have the topic.
Addiction. I want to talk about addiction and faith and what addiction feels like. Give people some insight into that, maybe. It'll just be like a random chat and see where it leads, like all of them.
Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, do you want to read tonight or me?
I'll read off your phone.
Yeah.
Cool. Day 47. You see, even when we arrived in Macedonia, we couldn't relax or rest. We were troubled in every way. There were battles outside and fears inside. 2 Corinthians 7 verse 4. 5.
And what do you think?
What do I think?
Oh,
I feel that maybe it's the thing of like once you accept Jesus Christ into your heart, you still got lots to work on, right? And Macedonia could maybe be like you going on holiday. And even then when you went on holiday, you couldn't relax or rest. But it's because you haven't made yourself holy in yourself inside yet. So there were fears inside, and while on your holiday where you couldn't relax and rest, the outdoors is too noisy for you, as in those are battles as well. So I think it's got to be like you have to make sure that your thoughts within yourself, like your inside, is matching your outside appearance. Like obviously once you become a child of God, you experience more love and you show more compassion, but your inner self has to be exactly the same. Maybe, I don't know.
I like that. So, okay, let me get this straight. Stop me if I'm wrong. So you mean, so a person would perhaps go on, so you'd get a 2-week break, and if you don't fix your life with Jesus and you're not okay with Jesus, your internal dialogue and stuff isn't okay with Jesus, you won't even have fun on your holiday.
No.
Okay, so can I ask you then, why do you think people, so forget religion, so what kind of outside influences cause people to not relax on holidays? Because yeah, so when people arrive in Macedonia, they arrive on holiday in Greece for 2 weeks. Why? What causes them to not be content yet?
Maybe they're not content with themselves, for one.
Why?
Happy with their appearance. I don't know, they don't accept that they're beautiful or that they are made in God's image or something of those sorts.
And why can't they relax or rest?
Because they've got internal conflicts with themselves and maybe things that they can't forgive themselves for, forgive others for, which I find to be a battle as well. Those are constant things that you feel guilty about or sins that you have within you that you cannot let go of yet, that cause inner conflict.
So, okay, so what else can cause stress issues? So this is stress issues, right? If you can't relax and you can't rest, you can't wind down, what causes them? What else? Work.
Your daily routine, what you eat, what you drink, your habits.
Because there were battles outside and fears inside. Okay, so
Relationships.
What else?
What's currently going on in the world.
Okay, and we were troubled in every way. There were battles outside. So I mean, that's what we see and what we consume.
Yes.
And what we buy, what we don't own, what we see others owning, envy, jealousy, envy. But then, and then what do you think about the fears inside? What's that all about?
Well, you're going to heaven or hell.
So what kind of, what drives firstly, what drives the fear?
Your guilt, maybe. Not knowing whether you are going to heaven or whether you are going to hell.
Okay, so what you are saying, a person who hasn't accepted Jesus Christ into their life, right, will be on holiday, they can't relax. Is that what you're saying? And they'll have battles outside, fears inside. But what causes that fear then? Because they don't know that there's somebody who died for their sins on the cross. They don't accept that to be true, so they still deal with the stress.
Well, I'm talking about a believer and a non-believer, any person.
Yeah, I want to know from you. I think you're perfectly right. I'm trying to make sense of it. So I want to know the person who's also got stress, right? So what causes the stress? What causes the disorientation of the mind? What causes the depression? If they don't have religion, why do they know what's wrong or right? Where does that come from? Because obviously
it's maybe like the questions that you are asking is like the chaos that causes the what takes time away from the things that you want to do and the things that you really love and enjoy. And I think once those things take away all your time, you actually start forgetting what you do enjoy.
But what if you're already in Macedonia? So you're already in Macedonia now. You're on holiday. Why still? Why do you still have conflict? You're on holiday. You've got no money problems. You've got no troubles. You shouldn't have any troubles. So what is that thing that still causes anxiety, still causes stress, still causing catching on nonsense on holidays? What is that thing? And where does it originate from? Because a lot of people in the world don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe in Christianity, but they deal with stress. Why? I think the fact that people are stressed and that the fact that people, even on holidays, can't find rest is even more proof that we are designed by an intelligent creator that designed us to live optimally in an environment of love, loving thinking, loving feeling. And whether you deny Jesus, deny religion, the fact is that's ingrained into your DNA, and without those things that you said that you should have, you will never find peace. Yeah. You'll convince yourself you'll find peace by buying a new piece of clothing, by buying the latest trainers, by getting the six-pack, by being in the hottest, fanciest bar, by doing the cocaine in the toilets. And you'll convince yourself you're happy. But those battles outside and those fears inside will stay with you forever. You will not find the peace. I don't care if you're David Goggins. David Goggins runs himself into the ground because he refuses to surrender to anything greater than himself. I don't want to run myself into the ground every morning. I want to do healthy exercise, but I don't want to beat myself, and I beat myself up with fitness because there was something else missing. So I think what I hear from you is you're saying everything right, but if I could tie it all together, it seems that depression, stress, anxiety, all the fears we have on the inside, all this emotional turmoil that shows itself as manic episodes in bipolar disorder, manic episode where you can't stop buying, consuming, partying, having sex, all these things. Then the fears on the inside, when you go quiet and you lock yourself in the room and you're in your depressive states and stuff, it's all of it is tied to the fact that you are designed to be better than you are. But the only way to get there is to submit to the fact that you are designed.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I think. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Mm. Let's see. Brainy tip. You see, even when we arrived in Macedonia, we couldn't relax or rest. We were troubled in every way. There were battles outside and fears inside. 2 Corinthians 7:5. Brainy tip. Stress can be good for us if we choose to react correctly to the circumstances of life. If I'm wired for love, I can't feel any negative emotions, right? I can't be stressed, worried, or fearful, yes? The whole world is counting on me to be happy and loving all the time. Not at all. You can see that even the Apostle Paul felt troubled in every way at times. Life certainly can be challenging and stressful, with many battles outside and fears inside. The key to making stress work for you is what I call freaking out in the love zone. Stress can be good for us depending on how we react to the problems we face. Rather than burying our emotions, which is harmful for our health, we need to learn to deal with them. We need to see our problems with God's eyes. If we have the mind of the Messiah, we don't need to be overwhelmed by what we face. We see the challenge, but we know that God is bigger than that challenge or the challenge we may face. We know that our minds are powerful enough to handle what comes our way. It reminds me of my situation now. Like yesterday, I was highly stressed because of having to deal with government issues and stuff, standing in queues. And today I went out to go exchange something that was broken, and on the way the brake fluid of the car failed. And it gave me another opportunity to work on my patients. A day later gave me another opportunity, and I didn't stress out. I went, oh,
You did so well.
I literally went, oh, hey, thanks. I went, thank you, but a little bit sarcastically, but then because I laughed at it firstly, I went, thank you, awesome. But then I laughed, I was like, oh, okay, I see it now.
This is the lesson.
I get it.
How are you going to handle it?
Yeah, you get another chance to
amazing.
handle it. So the battles outside, the fears inside, I've been hard on myself the last 24 hours. And yeah, I'm a lot more stress-free and relaxed. Okay, this is it, right?
Yeah, no, it was also a good day for me as well. In terms of that, like, I've been wanting to be so present and aware and focused
do something
on
around the house.
on everything that I want to do. But yeah, I did the gardening and everything like that. Like, I took it really seriously in my little design thing on Canva and whatnot. But also, it also comes a balance of being so focused that you forget that there are people around you. So
I don't mind.
But I'm saying as you say goodbye and you're gonna go do your thing, right?
Oh yeah.
And you had your little episode where the brakes weren't working, and I was freaking out. Because Mike and I don't really have much time apart other than when we are working. So I was like texting him, "Are you okay? What's happening?" And it kind of made me scared and made me realize, flip, I didn't even really like give you a proper goodbye anyway. Not that maybe nothing's gonna happen.
Good.
But the thing is that, sure, you want to focus on every task that you do, but you also need to make sure that in every second in every task that you do, you need to put intention into it as well. So I need to put intention into my saying goodbye to you, into listening to every word that you say, into everything I do as well. But it's also the people around you making sure that you put intention into your words that you say to them and the actions you give them, the goodbye hug. So that was a big thing for me as well, because you didn't answer my phone call. But not because of how small Saturn is anyway, but yeah, it was a big lesson for me as well. It's like, sure, you want to be all focused and engaged and do your things right, but also you have to have intention as well.
Routine, planned, start with God.
Yeah.
Start God, after God, what's my next tasks, and create a routine and a list.
God, intention.
Yeah, great, awesome,
Yeah.
that's a great tip.
Yeah.
I love tips like that because I love to see how this life can also, because my life is so much different to when I wanted to be very good at CrossFit, where I was like literally, I cut the world out to beat myself up. But I can see so many similarities between having a dedicated life like this and a dedicated life like that. Same thing. I would probably be better at that if I had this as well. Yeah, beautiful. What are we gonna write? Start with God.
God, put God first.
Put God first, yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I think what we're going to write about, you see, even when we arrive in Macedonia, even when we get on holiday, we can't relax or rest. On a Saturday at home, you fidget and you can't sit still. On a Sunday, you can't have the day of peace. We were troubled in every way. There were battles outside, in our families, in our friends, in our neighborhood, and there were fears inside. There's troubles that haunt you, that stay with you, and they'll stay with you forever until you learn to put God first. And then until you learn to put God first, submit to Him, and then the personal thing, after that it becomes personal, right? After that, you don't need my help, you don't need Ash's help, it becomes your story. But my advice would be, if any of these things are troubling you, you couldn't sleep, I couldn't sleep, if you had history with substance abuse, if you had failed relationships, if you struggle to be productive, if you have a bad self-image, whatever the case may be, if you have issues with food, put God first.
Correct.
It'll work.
You'll be successful in anything you do.
Yeah.
If you put God first,
Put God
and you
first.
have the right intentions.
Yeah, brilliant. 2 Corinthians 7:5 might as well say, put God first. All the Bible might as well say, start with God.
Yeah.
It helps, it works. That's that. I think that's brilliant. Lovely.